Hello, everyone. Welcome and thank you for tuning in to the GovWare ICE71 Pitch Pit 2021, brought to you by Image Engine and ICE71, and supported by the Cybersecurity Agency of Singapore, CSA. I am Lyndon Wynn Schindler, Program Head at ICE71, which stands for Innovation Cybersecurity Ecosystem at Block 71 in Singapore, founded by leading university, the National University of Singapore, NUS, and leading VC, Singtel Innovate. We are the region's first cybersecurity entrepreneur hub and NUS Enterprise's dedicated cybersecurity startup ecosystem builder. And I will be your host for the Pitch Pit today. Back for the third time, the GovWare ICE71 Startup Pitch Pit features exciting companies from our ICE71 community as they pitch their solutions to a panel of experts in the industry. The goal of the Pitch Pit is for companies to get real-world feedback and gauge potential interest in their cybersecurity solutions. In a special twist this year, we will have our cybersecurity startups competing with our SMEs, showcasing how AI is the next frontier of cybersecurity. Okay, now to kick things off, I would like to introduce our judges. So first, we have Benson Lau. Benson is the co-founder and chief strategy officer of Zencode, a mobile security startup which has been ranked among the top 5 in Singapore by Clutch.co. Benson has extensive experience in helping clients like DBS, GIC, Singtel, the World Bank, and Aon develop web and mobile applications and artificial neural networks with offshore teams in Vietnam and India. He also serves on the committee for Hong Kong Startup Support Group and the Singapore Chamber of Commerce, Hong Kong. Welcome, Benson.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi. Okay. So next up, we have Claudia Markison. Claudia has over 20 years of financial industry expertise within investment management, insurance, and banking in the US, UK, Germany, the Netherlands, and Singapore. Claudia is an investment advisor to venture capital funds in Europe and Singapore, and plays the role of a mentor, board advisor, and VC investor to startups and scale-ups. At SC Ventures, the innovation and venture building arm of Standard Chartered Bank in Singapore, she leads innovative co-creation with corporate clients and business units of Standard Chartered Bank as global head of the Client Experience Center. So welcome, Claudia.
Thank you, Linda. Hello, everyone.
Hello. Okay, next, dialing in all the way from Luxembourg, we have Guy Morong, founder and managing partner of Cubic Consulting. He was formerly with Sony Electronics and was the European CISO from 2007 to 2014 and global CISO from 2014 to 2019. And he has been a startup advisor since 2018. With this extensive experience in building cybersecurity companies from scratch to managing large organizations, he aims to build security management systems that can deliver security in a sustainable way and align all levels of management. Welcome, Guy.
Thank you, Linda. Nice to be with you all.
Great having you here today. And last but not least, we have Tony Jarvis, security principal of Citrix. Having held a variety of leadership and advisory roles with recognizable brands, including Citrix, Checkpoint, FireEye, Standard Chartered Bank, and Telstra, Tony has developed an acute understanding of how to successfully deliver cybersecurity engagements that strategically align with business objectives. He advises business leaders on major cybersecurity transformation projects and recognizes that security is best addressed holistically, from the C-suite to frontline workers. Welcome, Tony.
Thanks, Linda. Really looking forward to it.
All right. Well, welcome to all the judges. So among the 5 companies who will be pitching today are 3 startups, Amaris AI, Insider Security, and Tao Express, and 2 SMEs who have been on the market for over a decade, Flexon and Secure Age Technologies. So now that we have introduced everyone, let the pitches begin. So pitching first, we have Professor Yu Qian-Sang, the Chief Innovation and Trust Officer of Amaris AI. Welcome, Prof. Yu. All right, so Amaris AI is a full stack AI startup that provides cutting edge artificial intelligence and cybersecurity products, which determines AI model robustness against adversarial attacks and explains predictions. Prof. you will only have exactly 3 minutes to deliver your presentation with a timer on screen to assist you. And we'll have 5-minute Q&A with the judges immediately after. Prof. you, are you ready?
Yes.
All right, great. Well, now you may begin your pitch.
Let me introduce who we are. We are a full stack AI company, and we do cybersecurity with hardware. And what's unique about us is that we are able to combine AI and cyber. And a quick overview of the leadership. We have James Kang, CEO, Patrick, our AI guru, and then myself. And so we have more than 100 years of combined experience. Now, the problem statement is AI can be easily attacked by adversarial attacks. So what is this adversarial attack? This is what you see now here is this overlay. And if you overlay it over the panda, and then suddenly it becomes a given. Now, more importantly is that you could do this and then deceive the cameras, for instance. So with this overlay, then you could not be seen by the camera. And then if you patch this here onto the eyeglasses, and you will find that this person is now no longer detectable and now is wearing a mask, and you can do this for maybe stop signs and so on. Now, what's important is that it could also attack text. So the backdrop of this development is to find a solution for these. And we have the development funded by CSA Innovation Challenge 2020, and is to create a software that is called a test rig. And it will create automated black box testing. Think of it like Metasploit for AI testing. So the data comes in, and you will see that it will run image attacks, text attacks, network attacks, and content malware attacks like PDFs and binary attacks. And what then happens is that it would then do the reporting, and you get the feedback. And after that, the AI explanation will then tell you what is wrong. Now, this is an example of the test that we've done on AI attacking AI. These are AI malware detectors. And so when you test it, we show that we could then, over more than 10 of these commercial products, with level 2, you see that it has evaded. But if we rank up and bring up to level 4 and 5, all of these systems would get total evasion, you get 0. Now, what is our business model here is that we start with awareness and training, and then we go to testing. And testing is like the Vicom, that you now have infrastructure testing. And then finally, you now have what we need now is that after you know that there are attacks, now we need to build up the defenses. This is pretty much like whatever the Palo Alto is doing. So very quickly, let me conclude. Now, AI will be the new crown jewels for all organizations. All the banks, the CII are actually largely undefended, not secure. But what is the good news is that this is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Tailwinds is that there are new legislation that are coming up, and then the standards are coming up. And this is in hot demand. So the timing is exactly very good, right? So we don't have competitors. Think of us like Palantir, and then but commercial developments at day one. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Wow, that was very good, Prof. Yu. I applaud you. You made it just in the 3 minutes. So thank you so much, Prof. Yu. And judges, your questions for Amaris AI.
I guess
Go ahead, please.
Sorry, I was just going to start off with a quick question. I noticed that the protection here is hardware based. With everybody working from home at the moment, and VPNs hairpinning traffic into corporate head office, is there a requirement to sort of backhaul traffic, or is there another way of doing it to ease that burden on congested links at the moment?
We are protecting AI both offline and online. So it's not hardware based. Some of it is like a firewall. Some of it is actually encryption that require hardware to manage the keys. But in general, it's all software based. So we're doing testing, finding out what's wrong, and then allowing the back end people to sort of like cure it. Yeah.
I have 2 questions. Good to see you, by the way, again. So I assume it's a B2B business, right? So what kind of industry do you target, and what would be the major use case? That's number 1. And the second question regarding the business model, is it like on subscription basis, or what are your thoughts there?
Okay, the first question is, initially, it will be governments that would be bringing in these testing facility to sort of make it much more mature, right? So they are very worried about smart city deployment, massive critical infrastructure, power stations, and so on. So all of these are now using AI to be the brain of all the new networks, the 5Gs, and so on. So after that, it is really all the enterprises. So everybody is now using AI. So actually, it is the entire world, right? So every company, whether it's a bank or whatever, so we actually could test AI applications that are text-based, chatbots, and so on, right? And so finally, it's like the last question is what was the last question again?
If you, so for the business model, right,
Yes.
do you intend to do it like a subscription basis? Is it like a once-off? So what are your thoughts to roll it
All
out,
of it,
basically?
yeah. So there will be testing that will be, say, like a software as a model. Okay, then there will be those people that like military that they will want to bring it in. It's like part and parcel of cyber warfare, right? And then they will be on-prem, and then there'll be people that would be then like maybe the malware, anti-malware people that are now wanting to actually understand a little bit more. And so all of the above, right? So basically every kind of models.
Okay, looks
Sorry,
like we have about 2 minutes left.
I also have a question. Just wondering on your patents, what sort of patents do you hold at the moment on the product?
Well, we have applied for 4 patents, patent pending. The rest, we will be doing some new patents that are related to like maybe AI firewall. So in just about like 5 or 6 fresh ideas, okay, and well, it takes time.
Guy, I think you're on mute.
If you're, thank you. If you think about the deployment for enterprises, how do you imagine that happening, or how far are you away in time from, basically practically working on deploying it in enterprises? I mean, let's say you mentioned banks.
Yes.
How far are you away, and how can I imagine deployment at the bank if I wanted to follow your lead?
At this point, we are working with the Singapore government, and we're planning for mass deployment national level at a very low level so that people could do self-testing, right? Okay. So that itself is, well, it will build up the awareness and allow anyone to go and sort of check themselves out. Right? Okay. So it's like you have a thermometer and then you could check the temperature. Right? And the rest of it will really be working side by side with the CISOs in the banks, okay, because the AI is actually quite complex. And so we probably would have to have something that's like a box. Right? And then this box actually can do black box attacks. Right? And so you just think of it like maybe it's like a penetration testing tool that it is AI enabled, and then you just bring into the enterprise and it just runs these tests.
Okay, super. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you to Prof. Yu and to our judges for their insightful questions and comments. And we'll see you later then, Prof. Yu.
Thank you.
All right. Well, the next company to pitch is Flexon. We have with us the marketing director of Flexon, Ivan Chua. Flexon is a leading industrial NAND flash storage solutions provider that delivers a range of versatile advanced memory storage solutions. Ivan, are you ready?
Yes, thanks, Linda.
All right, great. The floor is yours.
Thank you. So have you ever wondered why big companies like Accenture is still the victims of ransomware, even if they have a full set of cybersecurity infrastructure and policy in place? So, hi everyone, I'm Ivan, the marketing director of Flexon. I'm very honored to be here presenting our X5 solution. So regardless how holistic your cyber defense is, 95% of the breaches is usually contributed by human error. Hackers are also evolving their business model to ransomware as a service. So every 11 seconds now, a new organization becomes the victim. Hence, it's crucial to have our X5 SSD innovation with zero trust framework that eliminates all the need for human intervention and fends off zero-day exploits. It can also provide physical protection against threats like stealing of drive or even side channel attacks. In the OSI layer, software security protects only 6 out of 7 layers, often neglecting the physical layer. So our solution places security at the physical layer and acts as the last line of defense when everything else fails. Traditional security solution only relies on software security. Our X5 SSD has embedded AI modules into the drive itself to monitor all the read-write access patterns from the host to the drive to identify if it is a harmful pattern like ransomware. Once any threat is found, the entire drive will lock it up to protect your data. So comparing to software cybersecurity solutions in the market, our X5 SSD is able to protect against zero-day exploits, provide 100% capture rate with lesser than 1% false positive, prevent against physical attack on the drive itself. We have received various awards and recognition with 3 patents being granted locally and overseas. So what's our market? We identified 3 major markets to address. First, government agencies like CSA Singapore, who is deploying our solution into national projects. We will be extending the same models to cybersecurity agencies of Europe and US. Second, ICT partners like Lenovo is collaborating with us to integrate X5 solution into their product to serve the mass market. Third, leveraging on our extensive OT customer base like Xerox, Oracle, HP, for adopting our solution on their applications. So with over 50 business partners and renowned global distributors, we are able to outreach our support to digital citizens worldwide to fight against cyber pandemic. The entire cybersecurity market is expected to reach 418 billion by 2028, and our innovation aims to be the de facto standard in endpoint security. It's aimed to achieve 421 billion by 2026. To conclude, X5 will be the last line of defense for every digital citizens. Thank you.
All right. Whew, just made it, Ivan. Thank you. All right. Let's now hear from the judges. Your questions for Ivan and Flexon.
I wanted to know, if you consider again a corporate environment, which, if I'm a bank, let's just settle on this one. Where would I install your solutions, or which would be my priority devices where I would use this hardware supported?
Thanks, Lee. It's a very good question. So we can do it in a hybrid model. So either first, it will be the endpoint security for all the staff working in the bank. Second is to put a management console for the IT CIO, I would say, CIO, to manage all the consoles, all the computer security within one single computer. So there is 2 ways to it: endpoint and management consoles.
Okay.
Do you have already customers or pilots basically running? And if so, where? And also, what kind of countries do you target first?
Yes, we actually have customers testing it out and adopting the solution. So right now, our ES sample is being sent to over 50 customers globally, in US, in Europe, in Asia, especially in Singapore. So some of the big brands that we can share is also Xerox, Oracle, HP. All these are some of the big brands that we can announce here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Question from me, is this restricted to physical appliances, or what about virtualized machines?
Yes, this is a low-level programming solution that is fixed on the SSD itself. So whoever is using our SSD, it will be able to get 24/7 data protections against unknown threats and also physical attacks.
Sorry, I had a question. I had 3 questions actually. One is, what's your manufacturing capacity at the moment, and how much of that capacity is filled? The second question is, where are the patents held? Like, which countries are they? And the third question is, what is the largest order you have at the moment?
Okay, I think let's start with the first one. So firstly, we outsource our manage the production overseas, but we manage the entire solution, the idea, the core of this product itself. Our patents is actually granted in Singapore, New Zealand, US, Taiwan. And sorry, I think I missed out the last question.
What's your largest order at the moment?
Largest owner, you mean order
order size?
Orders. Okay, The largest orders we have is actually Lenovo. That will be the largest order because we are collaborating with them, putting our drive into their solution itself. It is a joint marketing effort with their overseas, like international distributions.
Sure. Is it in the thousands or tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands? The size, relative size?
The forecast itself will be definitely about 400. Actually, I mean the orders itself, it will be in future. We predict it will be over 10+ thousands. Right now, it is starting with 1,000+ because we just started our collaboration recently.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you. Thanks, Benson.
Okay, well, are there any other last minute questions for Ivan? If not, thank you, Ivan, and thank you, judges. Okay, so next up, we have Jonathan Fua, the CEO of Insider Security, to deliver their pitch. Insider Security develops specialized cybersecurity products that provide early warning of cyber threats inside critical infrastructures before there is any serious data loss. All right, Jonathan, are you ready?
Yes, Linda, thank you.
All right, great. The floor is yours.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. So what we do is that we enable organizations to discover the internal cyber threat early. This is important because most organizations do not discover that they have an attacker inside their network until it becomes too late. Our users today include large enterprises, government agencies, and also SMEs. We are an award-winning cybersecurity tech company founded by Singaporean cybersecurity experts. I want to share on a new security service for Microsoft 365 that we launched recently. It is called Cloud Security Monitor. This is a timely solution due to the COVID-19 situation and remote work. There's increasing use of cloud services, especially for Microsoft 365, and many companies want to ensure data security in their Microsoft 365 cloud. For example, whether the cloud accounts are compromised and if an attacker is accessing the company emails or documents. Another example, another risk, now that most employees are working remotely and a lot of company data goes online, it becomes easier for data theft by insider threat or disgruntled employees. Now, Microsoft 365 itself provides a large amount of logs on user activity, but it is not practical to review such logs to discover the hack. So what insider security does is that we use machine learning and advanced cybersecurity algorithms to make sense of such logs to detect the suspicious user activity very early. So the solution, the service detects for key threats such as root administrators, insider threats, compromised accounts, and data thefts. Let me just show what the service looks like. This is a demo of a dashboard. The service has been deployed in a number of users, and we have gotten very good market feedback. Okay. So Cloud Security Monitor is a cloud SaaS that you can onboard within 60 seconds, very scalable. It's by annual subscription based on number of users. And the market size is also pretty good. So for example, in 2020, customers paid around US $20 billion for Microsoft 365. So we think that a fair number of them are probably willing to pay a bit more for cybersecurity. Our service is available through our partners like M1, which is a major telco in Singapore. Also Lumen. Lumen is actually a US telco, and other partners. Thank you.
Okay, wow, you beat the clock by 13 seconds. Congratulations, Jonathan. All right, judges, your questions, please.
I had a question in the sense of how do you see this product evolving? You know, I understand what you're trying to do now, but what's your roadmap? Where does this go?
A very good question, Key. So even though today we are focusing on Microsoft 365, but in general, there's a huge opportunity for protecting SaaS services in the cloud. So we do see in our roadmap going to protect other services like G Suite and other SaaS services as well.
Okay.
What's your Yeah, go ahead, please.
Sorry, I'd be curious to ask of the customers that do deploy this, do you have any metrics around, on average, how many incidents they would find that otherwise would have gone missed, or how quickly they can actually respond to those?
So as part of the service, we do, the service actually provides regular reports and all these metrics I mentioned to our customers. So in general, we some of the feedback that we have gotten is that, so for example, we have this this service is deployed in this large listed company, about 1,000, 2,000 users today. And so they have this Microsoft administrator, and they were saying that, wow, actually the guy has been working for 10 years, and this is the first time that he saw that he is able to get such good visibility into the Microsoft accounts and the activity. Yeah. So I think so far we have been getting very good feedback on the service.
I would imagine that you have to, even though it's machine learning, but do you still have to do some adjustment because of your, workers or type of business way of working in some sense? There's some differences between you're in a bank or you're, in an R&D department, or, you're doing in a transportation company. So the way of working may be different, and what looks strange in one place may not be look strange in another. So is the machine learning doing everything, or do you have to customize it a bit to your type of business?
That's a very good point, Key. So in general, I mean, that's the power of machine learning, because it's able to learn the behavior and the profile for different kind of customers and different kind of users. So whether you're a bank or maybe you are a factory or trading company, you probably have a different kind of user activity, and our algorithms will actually learn based on that. Now, another thing that we do is that there's also a feedback mechanism inside the solution, because sometimes we detect something that looks very suspicious, but it could be something that's very normal in a company. Maybe you have some backup software or something like that. So there is some mechanism that you can actually feedback to the service that this is normal, and the service will not treat this as a risky activity in the future.
It assumes that in some sense, that same like DLP, that you need someone who understands a bit what the company is doing, because sometimes it's under the surface what people are doing. So you need to, I guess, learn at the same time than the system to understand what is normal and what's not normal. Yeah, as you just explained. Yeah.
What is your pricing strategy to do? Have you ever tested also with the customers on the pricing points, and yeah, do you have any thoughts on that?
Actually, yes, we have, and I think so far we are pricing quite affordable. But of course, some of our partners actually requested, can we lower the price further? So I think the price is still evolving, but for sure it's very, very affordable. And in fact, so for us, actually, we carry a number of cybersecurity products. I would say this product is probably the most easy to sell, because it's just low cost, basically.
What is the range roughly? In which terms do I need to think?
We're talking about less than $10 a month per account. Yeah.
Thanks.
Sorry, I had two questions. One is, are you applying to be a Microsoft partner at the moment? And the second one is, what patents do you hold at the moment to protect you?
Yeah, thanks, Benson. So in fact, today we are a Microsoft partner, and actually we're going to put this on Azure Marketplace as well, I think. Yeah. In terms of patents, we have something in the works. Yeah, that's all I can share right now.
Okay, sure. A few countries, I'm assuming. Sorry.
Oh, okay. So countries, I would guess be Singapore and US. Yeah, and yeah.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you, judges, and thank you, Jonathan from Insider Security. Okay, audience, 2 more pitches to go. Next in line, we have Mier Teo-hin, the CEO of SecureAge. SecureAge Technologies' AI-powered asset-based cyber defense, or ABCD, serves as an endpoint protection platform solution. Teo-hin, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. Thanks, Linda.
All right, great. The virtual stage is all yours.
All right, thank you. Okay, my name is Teo-hin, and today I'm going to talk to you about this Apex machine learning antivirus engine. So let me give you some details on it. I'm not sure why okay, my screen is a bit slow. All right, so the solution is based on something called Universal AV, which contains more than 10 commercial antivirus engine that keep helping us to scan a whole bunch of files and classify them into whether they are virus or they are normal files. So these labeled data are then fed into the machine learning training engine, in which it just simply crunched the thing and keep learning, and then it created this Apex machine learning antivirus engine at the end. And then this machine learning antivirus engine is then fed into the endpoint solution, which we call CQA+, and it acts as a standalone antivirus engine for the end users to help them to detect virus in their machine. So a little bit more in details. Okay, so this solution is actually jointly developed with National University of Singapore, because we were given a grant by the National Research Foundation to do that, and that was created in 2018. So one of the very unique thing about our solution is that we basically collect more than 100,000 files every single day. And these files are collected through many different means. We have some very dedicated virus feed that we purchase, and we get virus files. We also crawl the internet, BitTorrent site for various executable files. We also have local machine in which we install software, and those get uploaded to the servers. But more importantly, we also have a lot of end users using our software, and we basically collect software from their machine that we don't have and upload them into our server. So this is how we actually end up with more than 100,000 files that we collect every single day. All right, so this end up with a very interesting solution that is fully automated. The whole engine, the whole collection of data and so on, as well as the training, are all fully automated, and it created this machine learning antivirus engine, and is continuously being improved on a daily basis with new data. But one of the most interesting thing about this antivirus engine is extremely effective in catching fresh viruses. It's many times more effective than traditional antivirus engine now in the market. So it can detect fresh virus very well. All right, so the solution has already been in place, and okay. So this is the details of the solution. There's very low memory footprint, less than 10 megabytes for the entire machine learning engine, and the model is can run 1,000 files in 8 seconds. As I mentioned earlier, it can detect very well and low false positive rate. And in 2018, we created the solution. In 2019, it's already in VirusTotal, and today, if you send any files to VirusTotal, it will be detected by SecureEdge Apex engine. So it just shows that our solution is very robust and is very good in catching virus for the end users. Thank you.
All right, great. Thank you so much, Teo-Hin. Judges, your questions, please.
Is it a B2B or B2C solution you're offering?
Oh, okay. So as far as anti-malware solution is always both B2B and B2C. Today, we are selling to a lot of B2B customer as well as B2C customer, because we put it on our website, and there's a PayPal link, and anyone from around the world, they can come in and they just buy 1 license, 3 licenses, and so on from our website. And that is the B2C part. We also have people that actually package our product and put in the box and sell in certain countries. But we also sell to large enterprise. That is the one that generating the more profit for us in terms of revenue.
Now, how many customers do you have at the moment?
Well,
on the B2B at least?
B2B, I don't know. I actually didn't count the numbers, but
or in total?
More than 10, but potentially below 100 right now. Yeah.
And in total, if you have the individual customers as well?
The individual customer, but B2C, we have a worldwide customer base. We basically get weekly, there's someone buying and things like that. So we actually don't track the numbers per se. So there are basically huge number of people that is buying it continuous basis. We have one MSSP in Singapore that's helping us to sell in the Singapore to SME, and we are getting PO every single day from them. Every single day we are getting a PO, at least one PO from them selling to SME in Singapore.
Could you share the pricing model on this?
Our pricing model is basically we survey all the antivirus engine on the market, and we take like 10-20% cut lower than them. So we basically make our pricing very competitive. Right now on our website, if you go there, it show you that one year subscription is basically $19, $19.99 or something like that for a year.
I know that a lot of organizations are using endpoint agents that typically do a number of different things. So antivirus, but also things like, anti-phishing, URL filtering,
Yes.
that sort of thing.
Yes.
If they were looking at adopting this and potentially running two agents on their endpoints, they might have concerns around conflicts with each other, memory
Yes.
usage, all that
Yes.
sort of thing. How could we, sort of give them that level of comfort that would, not result in any issues?
In fact, we actually have a whole team of people in the office that does nothing but to test our software that it works with all the other antivirus engine in the market to make sure that it can coexist with other antivirus engine. So we do have customers that use other antivirus engine plus our own engine, so they are quite happy with that. But so generally, we don't see much of an issue if you want to use more than one engine, but theoretically, you don't have to. If ours is good enough, then you don't need another antivirus engine in your machine.
Can you give me an idea if I am actually targeted by someone? So it's not,
Yes.
I'm not talking about someone. I'm actually a victim of a wider spread malware, but someone is targeting me in
Yes.
some sense. So in what way would your product help me?
So our product is more than the antivirus engine that I mentioned, the machine learning. We have two other engines together in what we call a Secure A+ endpoint agent. And one of the engine is something called application whitelisting. It's extremely effective in blocking basically anything that is unknown. So any virus that came to your machine will be 100% almost guaranteed to be blocked. The AV engine is very good, as I mentioned earlier, in catching the fresh virus, new viruses and things like that. We also have the cloud-based more than 10 commercial AV running that help you to catch all viruses. So it basically spread out, give you a very multi-layer kind of approach in terms of making sure that you're fully protected from any kind of attack that people can throw at you.
Can I ask a subsidiary question on this?
Yeah.
One question I had in my normal practice before as a CISO, I wanted to have an idea. I want always an idea of what kind of viruses our companies, there are so many of them.
Yes.
But to have also an idea of what kind of problems are, what kind of pattern I see on my company, not versus the market. Is there any way you can help me answer that question? I want to know, are there certain groups or certain type of malware which I'm more exposed to than other things? So
yes,
that's after detection, of course.
In fact, the interesting thing about our solution is that we have the cloud AV that help you to scan every single machines that you have our agent installed in your environment. And it will actually show you a dashboard in terms of all the viruses that you have detected. So centrally, you can tell immediately what are the viruses that is attacking you in those endpoints that you have in your environment, so that you know exactly what are the viruses that is actually targeting you. And then, of course, you can centrally remove them and things like that and so on. So you have that capability. And also the application whitelisting will tell you what are the viruses that has been blocked by the system. So you know what are the attack that has come in but wasn't successful, but you know that those people are targeting you. All right, so you can trace that, all of them. And of course, if you have all the sort of incident management, your ROC, we can help you to search in the entire environment to see whether any of things can get into your system, whether any kind of malware get into your system totally. Yes.
All right. So Benson, did you have a last question before we go to the last pitch?
Sure. Actually, I wanted to ask, how are you reaching other enterprise markets overseas at the moment?
So the internationalization is something that we are still working on right now. I mean, we do have a little bit of penetration in the region and so on, but we haven't really reached out to the Europe and US market yet. So that is something that we are trying to do. That is the next main thing that we are trying to go towards doing in terms of internationalizing our business.
Okay, great. Well, thank you, judges, and thank you, Toohin and Secure Age. Well, now we have the last pitch for today, Stella, who's a part of business development for Tau Express. Tau Express helps organizations unlock value and insights from massive amounts of documents using advanced AI techniques. Stella, are you ready?
Yes, thank you, Linda.
All right, the floor is yours.
Okay, hi everyone. A very good afternoon to our distinguished panel of judges. My name is Stella, and I am the Business Development Manager at Tau Express. Okay, so briefly about Tau, We are an R&D spin-off from the Spirit Smart Nation Research Center in NTU. So after a successful proof of concept between Spirit and the Singapore judiciary, TAO was incorporated in 2018 to commercialize the technology. Our core specialty is in AI-enabled document analytics, and we have developed a platform called Titan that is capable of parsing, analyzing, and visualizing massive amounts of unstructured information. So specific to the cybersecurity context, one of our early use cases was with the Cybersecurity Agency of Singapore to basically use TAO's engine to increase the productivity and efficiency of understanding emerging and prominent trends in the cyber threat landscape. So imagine this: if I were to put a single page report in front of you, a user can easily read and digest the information very quickly. But what if the volume of reports is multiplied by, say, 100-folds or maybe even 1,000-folds? So it would be very time consuming, very tedious for a human to sift through the pile of documents to find reports that are related to their topic of interest. Okay, so this is where Titan comes in. We have two models. One is an on-prem deployment. We also have an SaaS model. And what our platform does is it automatically crawls the web to ingest the latest cyber reports into the platform. So what this does is it unifies disparate sources of cyber threat intelligence from various sources. Users can also choose to manually upload their own documents into the platform. The platform supports a variety of formats in both English and Chinese languages. So this way, all the information is organized in a manner that will reduce the amount of time taken for users to efficiently retrieve relevant documents. So all a user has to do is to input a keyword query, and the machine will generate a list of reports that are ranked according to relevance. So once the user clicks on the link to the report, the machine automatically produces a summary for the user. So this, what you see here, is some examples of the data that is automatically extracted from the unstructured report. Yeah, and why this is useful is because different sources use different terminologies. They reference events and incidents differently. So what our engine does is it helps to harmonize the understanding across different vendors. So using the data that is extracted, we can perform statistical analysis. So what you see here is a dashboard for users to observe shifts in global trends. Users can also zoom in to individual particular IOC or entity to display the statistics or distribution of individual trends over a time period. So last but not least, we have a concept network graph. This allows users to discover relationships between the concepts and data points, and it gives users a tip into the direction they should be looking into. Thank you.
Oh, whew. Just in time, Stella. Good job. All right, judges, your questions, please.
Maybe could you tell us a bit how I would deploy that tool in my company?
Oh, sure. Okay, so we would package it into a VM and hand it over to you if you choose to have an on-premise deployment. Otherwise, we also have an SaaS model where you just have to pay for account registration and we'll set everything up for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Which countries do you target, and what's your view on the web crawling capabilities and compliances there?
Thanks, Claudia. The countries that we currently have customers in now include Singapore and Malaysia, so it's just regionally, but we are also partnering with a very large global cyber threat intelligence provider to distribute our solution to other parts on the map. The second part of your question, sorry?
With the web crawling, basically. So a few
okay.
of the jurisdictions might have restrictions there. So yeah.
Okay. So web crawling, it also depends on the layout of the website. It's not necessarily a one-size-fits-all approach. So there are some challenges there, but we crawl data that is open source, so it's publicly available. So nothing that is restricted or you need a user account to log in. But if users do have reports from a particular vendor, the platform actually allows you to manually upload this data into the platform, and you can also use the analytics engine to search and retrieve reports to gain insights.
In countries like US, for instance, you would rather avoid, so because I mean you use web crawling for commercial purpose, and there might be a few restrictions here and there.
We have not encountered any challenges so far, but basically all the sources that we crawl are open source, publicly available information. And we do leave a link in the report itself to denote where exactly the report is from.
Thanks.
Thank you, Claudia.
And I know that English and Chinese language is supported. Do you have a roadmap for other language support in the future?
We have a lot of exciting plans in our roadmap, but presently just English and Chinese, no other plans for other languages. But if the time comes and there is a need for it, I'm sure TAO would be happy to explore.
Sorry, I also had a question. Who is your target customer and how large is the order size for those customers?
Okay, our target customers, basically 3 verticals. We target CII operators, government agencies, as well as the banking and finance sector. This is just presently. So the number of target verticals will continue to increase as our team grows and our company expands. What is the average size of our orders? On a subscription basis, it starts from in the tens of thousands, but we also have on-premise deployment with government agencies that are in the hundreds of thousands.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, any last minute questions from the judges? Otherwise, oh, Guy, were you going to say something? Oh, okay. All right. Well, thank you, Stella from TAO Express and the judges. Okay, now the judges will have a tough decision to make. Who among the 5 companies will emerge winner for this year's GovWare ICE71 Pitch Pit 2021? Judges, please head to your breakout room now to deliberate, and we'll see you again in 5 minutes. All right, well, this has been really exciting thus far. While we're waiting for the judges, we want to share about an exciting $1 million opportunity for companies to participate in the Cybersecurity Agency of Singapore's Industry Call for Innovation 2021. Through the call, startups and solution providers can potentially receive up to $1 million in funding from CSA to address pressing challenges and develop their innovative solutions with key end user organizations in technology areas, including AI, IoT, OT, cloud, and privacy. ICE71 is a supporting partner for the Cybersecurity Call for Innovation and would like to encourage all cybersecurity companies to seize this amazing opportunity. Let's take a look at some of the challenges launched this year and highlights from recent events.
These end user challenge statements are a great indication of the direction of cybersecurity demand. And cybersecurity demand is a wonderful economic opportunity right for the picking.
Well, as you can see, this is all very exciting for the end users looking for innovative solutions, as well as for the solution providers looking for opportunities and funding to innovate. For companies interested in CSA's Cybersecurity Industry Call for Innovation, please visit the official website, www.cybercall.sg, for more information on eligibility, evaluation criteria, funding, and more. The submission deadline is October 31st, which is in about 3 weeks. So submit your proposals now. Now, while the judges are still deliberating, let's talk a bit about the seemingly nonstop cyber attacks in the headlines, right? Some interesting highlights from a recent Harvard Business Review article. In March of last year, AI detected a sophisticated, highly targeted cyber attack exploiting zero-day vulnerability across multiple businesses. The attack was detected, investigated, and contained by AI. Now we've entered a new world, right, of cyber threats. If it were measured as a country, cybercrime would be the world's 3rd largest economy after the US and China. So this is obviously a very serious issue. So one of the key takeaways is we cannot stop the breaches. So what can we do? So maybe like while we await the judge's decision, some of our companies can share in one sentence a piece of advice that they can offer to the audience. What can a company do amid the spate of cyber attacks? What is something that's easy for them to do to protect themselves? How about we start with secure age technologies and Tihun?
Well, they should consider using our software. It definitely can help you to prevent all kinds of malware attack that you will be thrown at. Yes, we are very good in doing that. Yes.
All right. I mean, I expected no less of an answer. That's what the CEO does, right? You're the cheerleader,
Yep.
evangelist.
Yep.
All right, Stella, how about you from Tao Express?
Thanks, Linda. I would say cyber resilience. So learning from past experiences, managing known risks, and just be prepared to respond to zero-day attacks, which is also why cyber threat intelligence analytic solutions like Tao is really very critical and important for the next generation of cyber defense. Yeah,
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks for that, Stella. Okay, how about Ivan from Flexon?
Yes, I think it's similar to Stella's. So we need to always be prepared. So I believe since big corporations keep failing, right? Always get us endpoint solution by our Flexon, I would say that. So you can have a physical layer protection at the end of the day.
All right, yes. Okay, how about Jonathan from Insider Security?
Hi, Linda. So as you rightly pointed out, you can't really stop the breach today anymore. So what can you do, right? So actually, I think it's very important to detect the breach very early. So the idea is that you want to actually minimize any serious damage. To catch it early, and you can do that. And there are controls that you can put in place, monitoring of the user network, user activity network, and things like that. Yeah.
Okay, great, thank you. And last but not least, how about from Amaris AI, Prof. Yu?
Yes, think about all the crown jewels that you are having now and in future. It could be AI, but more importantly, be prepared for the new threats because the cyber hackers are unconventional and they would test you very deeply, and then you have to be prepared for the worst.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you very much for that. I mean, yes, in this article, interestingly, the focus was also on the interest in the cyber attackers potentially targeting mid-sized companies, not just the big organizations, not just government governments, but they were thinking that maybe like an area of potential opening for them was the mid-sized companies. And I think that what's interesting is that the mid-sized companies now have a lot of options, right? Obviously, with all the pitches today, you see opportunities from companies that can provide protection, can provide monitoring, can provide detection, and other opportunities for companies to assess and use these solutions, right? Like that you didn't have that option before. You only had the big guns, and now you have, and I think what's great is that you have these smaller companies, SMEs, you have startups who are maybe more agile, who can turn around and work with you and customize your solutions for you. And so I think we live in a time that's very exciting. Of course, we see the cyber attacks happening every day, but at the same time, I think it's really exciting, all the opportunities to innovate that are being brought upon, especially, let's say, by the Cybersecurity Agency of Singapore, who are supporting, innovative solutions to come onto the market as they see the need. And so I think these are, scary times, it seems like, if you look at the headlines, but also exciting times for solution providers who have potential solutions who can help. And I think, like, we've all seen, these really large attacks lately. So cybersecurity is definitely top of mind. It's on top of mind of the companies, on top of mind of the corporates, right? The boards are all talking about it. So I think this is, really interesting, and it only gets, more prevalent every time we see it on the headlines. You saw the JBS meat plant ransomware attack, right? The largest beef and pork supplier in the world, and they were hacked. and the disruption impacted the whole meat supply and temporarily raised the meat prices. And they paid an equivalent of, we're talking about ransomware now, I mean, $11 million in cryptocurrency, right, to end this 5-day cyber attack. You have the other attacks like SolarWinds, we've heard so much about. The software spread to its clients worldwide and included top private firms and government agencies. And how they did that was they unwittingly sent out software updates to their customers that included the hack code. So like, 18,000 of their customers installed updates that left them vulnerable to hackers. Like you see so many different attacks right now that are happening, and it's having a ripple effect. So people are having to look at their supply chain, right? I think something that we're looking at is it's not, sometimes enough just to look at your own, security, but you actually now have to be mindful of the security in your supply chain. Well, after that, interlude, I received word that the results are out. So let's have our judges join us again. All right, welcome back, judges. Okay, so the moment we've been waiting for is finally here. I see how the companies presented brilliant presentations today. It must have been a really difficult decision for the judges. So before we announce the winner though, let's take a group photo first. So if all the judges and companies can please turn on your videos for a group photo. Okay, team, are you ready? Do you have ready to go? We'll go 3, 2, 1. Cheese, 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 cheese.
Just give me one more. One
more.
2. Okay, just one more to go. 1, 2, 3. All right.
Great. Thank you so much. All right. So if I can ask everyone to turn off their videos now. Okay, I'm getting the results. And now I'm pleased to announce that the winner for the GovWare ICE71 Pitch Pit 2021 is Flexon. So congratulations to Flexon. Okay. If I can ask Flexon, Ivan, if you can come back on and the judges turn on all your videos so that we can have a group
Sorry about that.
Wow,
thank you so much. Yeah, very proud to be winning this award.
Very proud.
Great. Okay, so let's take a group photo with the judges and Ivan with Flexon being the winner. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Is that good?
All good.
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much.
Congratulations. I love that you have your own personal cheering section. All right. Well, great. Well, thank you, everyone. And I guess we can ask everyone to turn off their videos. With that, we've reached the end of the GovWare ICE71 Startup Pitch Pit 2021. Thank you to our judges and companies for making this such an engaging and insightful pitch pit, and everyone for joining us today. We hope you've enjoyed learning about the latest solutions from our innovative companies. If you would like to learn more about the companies and their solutions, please feel free to reach out to us at ICE71. You can find us on LinkedIn, Facebook, or at our website, ice71.sg. Once again, thank you. Congrats to the winner. Stay safe and see you next time.